This is your first ever Kia Telluride 8-seat crossover. You can get a 7-seat configuration if you want. I have the SX, so this is the 8-seater. Let's go perks, quirks, and irks. So up front, everything's LED. As I'm sure you've seen in a ton of pictures, the day runners are orange. Now, interestingly, the Elantra N had orange day runners, so I think Kia, Hyundai, Genesis may just jump along with that as far as future design language goes. Big tiger nose grille, the word Telluride right up front. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but it's kind of growing on me. And we'll get into more of the badging as we go around the car. LED fog lights as well. So I keep the turn signal on just to show you what it looks like. And the day runner turns into your turn signal. So it looks pretty good up front. Very few complaints. Just nice, not quite aggressive, but very sharp looking. Let's stand here for a sec and I will give you some measurements of this massive vehicle. 16 feet 4 inches long, 6 feet 5 inches wide, and 5 feet 8 inches tall with 8 inches of ground clearance, which is right there. It doesn't look like it's 8 inches. I believe them that it is. It just doesn't really look like it. Taking a look at the side of the vehicle, it looks pretty sharp as far as conservative design goes. And I don't think Kia's ever, you know, even with the Stinger, it's an awesome sports car, but it doesn't have Toyota's many bends and creases. So you have 20-inch wheels on this, and it's a nice room design. Again, it's conservative, and I don't think it needed to be overly aggressive, and just it looks really, really sharp. And it's 245 50 R20. Cool little quirk here is that the windowsill here kind of goes up a bit and up and down, and interestingly, it also follows that same line on the inside. So pretty cool there. I know, the car's on, so it's beeping because I got the key and I'm outside of the car. Anyways, as we go around to the rear of the vehicle, the taillights, kind of one of those love them, hate them. I'm not a big fan of them because I think they should have followed the same design language that they did up front with rectangles as opposed to just single lines going up and down. An irk for me, I think Kia really missed the boat on this one. It's the turn signals, because not that they're not LED comes in the next trim up. There's a plane, so I want to be a little louder, but it's because they're so low, and that's where the other one is. And with everyone getting SUVs and that market really taking off and the higher line of sight, I really think Kia should have gone for something higher up in a line of sight of other SUV drivers. So I think they really missed it there. They should have put something in one of those bars as far as their turn signals go. Another miss for me is the tailpipes. It's only on one side. You could see there could be a spot for another one. It's right there, but I know, I wish they would have done that, but my 2 cents on that. Let's take a look at the trunk as we open it up, one touch. So let's go through some more numbers here. What you're looking at now is 600, where are my notes? Notes. I had them, 601 liters. I was close. So let's expand that a little bit. So it's not a power seat for the second row. So you pull it, headrest goes down, and you gently let it go down. Oops. Pull it, and oh, sorry, I can't because that's there. I'll move that in a sec. I think this one should be able to go. Pull that. Mostly down it goes. Let's take down the middle row of seats, and for that, that is power. So left side, we'll push, and because the front went down, that went down as well. And let's do the right side. One touch button, R for right. Let's take a look. And I'm gonna put the camera down so it's a nice flat surface. So if you're going to IKEA or you have a bunch of stuff that needs to be flat packed, this is the way to do it. Lots of space here. Quirk for me, let's start on this side. So there are 2 cup holders there. There's 1 cup holder. You can see it's a little deeper, but then the top one is not a cup holder. And it even has that little sign, not a cup holder. So kind of interesting there. A little bit of storage down here, but no storage on that side. So storage, yes. Storage, no. And a small little quirk. The seatbelt for the middle person in the last row is there. So yeah, just kind of little quirks there. And let's just back up and give you guys a good look at what it looks like with all the seats down. Let's take a quick break and come back with a look at the inside of the 2020 Telluride. Let's take a look at the third row 2020 Telluride. There it is. Fits 3 people. I wouldn't put them in there any longer than they have to be, but if you need the seat space, this is definitely the vehicle for you. third person seat belt, also known as the middle person, right up top. USB port there and right there. Again, there's that weird single cup holder and I guess a little bit of storage. Anyways, I have the second half of the seat down. I've got the first half of the seat up, so it's the 60-40 split. I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand. Basically, that's got to go up, and then this part of the seat has to go up. So you can't do it with one. It locks, which is good for safety. So I'm going to see if I can do that, and then you guys can look at that as I shoulder it up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So there you go. Seats up. These seats are pretty comfortable. Now, they're on rails as far as forwards and backwards go. There's the rail right there. Lift it up. So, yeah, that's not a lot of space. But again, the seat is all the way up. So if you have somebody in the rear, let's take a look right there. There is a lot of space there. So let's put the seat back and I'll show you just how much space they have. So you can see the difference there. And I'm going to pull that lever up again and I'm going to shoulder the seat back just to show you how far back it does go. And you can see from here, there's a pretty huge gap there as far as wanting to kind of relax on a longer road trip or whatnot. And if you want to get somebody in the back, there's that button right up here. You push it. So basically that goes forward as well. And you get, I don't know, maybe 2 J Canna foot's worth of entry space. So it works out pretty nicely. We pull it back and it just automatically locks almost at a 90-degree angle. And again, if you want to change your forwards, backwards, amount of room, that's how you do it. USB ports on the front seats for the rear passengers. That's a very smart move. Nearly flat surface for the feet, so that middle person doesn't get the hump. Pretty nice. You get a couple of power spots, a couple of cup holders there, a couple of cup holders here as well. Not nearly as much as the Ascent, but still pretty good. Let's take a look at the door. Harman Kardon speaker cover. Speaker, fake wood, not a fan. Get rid of that. Sunshade. All we did with one hand on the first try, so you don't have to tint your windows because you have that, and a little bit of storage there. So that's gonna wrap up the second row, third row. What else can we look at? Oh, they've got their own little sunroof thing here, and it opens as far as the shade goes, but it does not open as far as the window goes. It just gives you a little bit of light. And the HVAC controls for the second and third row are up there. 1 vent, 2 vents, 3 vents, and let's wrap it up with the 4th vent, which is right there. LED lights on the inside, very cool. We'll be right back and take a better look at that with the power of editing right now. We did the outside, we did the third row, we did the second row. Let's take a look up front and continue on with our Quirks, Perks, and Irks. Oh, Kia, you and your nearly perfect interiors. Get rid of that fake wood trim, and it's a 10 out of 10 for me. This is a cool little quirk because there's no bottom to the handle. Let me get my hand a better shot for you. Yeah, so it's kind of cool how it just goes like that and like that. Don't care for that. I like that this is a pretty good storage space, and it goes pretty deep as well. So I don't know, most of my fingers, I guess 3/4 of them. All your stuff is there as far as window controls and mirror controls. Nice speaker cover, a little bit of space for storage in there with your mat pocket. Seats are pretty good, I gotta say. I've did a lot of driving, and these side bolsters are probably one of the best for me. Thigh bolsters, respectable, not great, but respectable. There's a look at the interior, and it'd be a 10 out of 10 if they got rid of that fake wood and put even piano black, which collects dust and fingerprints. To me, looks better than the fake wood stuff. Anyways, let's jump in and let's start in the middle. You got a massive screen, and in typical Kia fashion, it's easy to use, it's intuitive, it's smart, it's reactive, there's no guesswork. Everything you need is here. Change up some of your widgets. CarPlay standard, Android Auto is standard as well. 3 vents up front. I'm gonna bring the air conditioning down because I think it might be affecting the sound. Just a nice, sharp looking center stack. Buttons, dials, touchscreen. HVAC is right there. There is zero guesswork, and I love Kia for that. And it looks like these are dummy panels because, you know, all you see is the word map and the light, but there's the map and the nav and the radio and your 4-ways, your seek, your track, and your favorite button, which is kind of cool, and you get your setup. And Kia has this really cool thing where it's, I don't know, I hope this works. Hello. Anyway, so I speak into this, and the speakers in the back pick up my voice and announce it to the people in the back. Now, it's not that far to the back, really, and I wonder if I put the phone there, if you can hear the echoing coming out of the speakers. Anyways, maybe not. but it's definitely a service there. And I don't really know if it's needed because it's not a small car, but I can just turn around and go, hey, Billy, stop hitting your sister, or whatever it is. Anyways, let's get rid of that. Oh, let's just go home. Anyway, so great screen, great middles. Wireless charging comes on every single Telluride. Full marks there. You got a 12 volt and you have USB. You don't want people to see your stuff? Close it up. Oops, close it up. Storage, cup holder. We'll get to the drive modes and the drive portion. Heated seats, cooled seats on the SX, and it's so easy. One switch, one panel. You go down, 3, 2, 1. You want your seat heated. Up, 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, whatever it is that you want. Steering wheel, I like that it is not a traditional 3-spoke. It's got the 4-spoke, so 2 there, 2 there. Nice spot in the middle. You shouldn't put your hand here, but you know, let's be honest, a lot of us do. Nice simple layout of the steering wheel. Let's get into some fun stuff. So Honda, also known as Kia, has been inspired by Honda's lane watch. I'm gonna put my signal on to the left, and now a camera shows up. Can we get that in a bit of a better focus? Sorry for this slight bump. Anyways, there it is. And the camera is beneath the side mirror, so I'm gonna put my fingers under there and you can see that's where the camera goes. And it's a pretty cool system, and it's not just the left side, it's also the right side. So it's kind of like blind spot monitoring, but with a big exclamation mark on it. And I think it's a really cool feature. Now, I'm gonna bring the camera back for a sec, and you know, it's gonna simulate your driving experience. So you're driving, you're doing your thing, you put your signal on, and you see the camera there. I'm so used to looking at my side mirrors than looking at my top mirror. It took me a few days to get used to actually having a camera there, but I built a bridge and I got over it pretty quick. It's just really cool technology, and I hope a lot of future Kia and Hyundai and Genesis vehicles have that. Again, such a really cool feature. Fuel economy, I'm at 11.5. I think it's rated for 12 and 9 as far as city and highway goes. 12.5 city, 9.6 highway. So I'm a little on the heavier side, but you know, that's okay in real life and in the gas thing as well. You got your center control here. You got your drive modes, which again, I said we'll talk about later, but we're here now. So you have 4 modes: comfort, eco, sport, smart, and you have 4 terrains. Let's push that down: snow, mud, and sand. So nearly all your Canadian conditions are covered. A couple of little handles right there, one on my side, driver's side, one on the passenger side. And I think that's going to wrap up the inside. It's typical Kia, and it's nothing groundbreaking because they've done all their groundbreaking over the last few years. I'm going to show you how that closes. Basically, that is your front to open up and recline the window. And there's your button for the rear. So I'm going to pull it towards me, and that closes up. As that does that, I like that this is a manual sunshade. I really do. I don't know, maybe they didn't want to put an extra button in there, but I like that it's manual. And again, if you wanted to open it up, push that, and you want to have that opened up, you do that. I'm going to close it because it's a little hot. Okay, that's going to wrap up the inside, and let's go for a drive in the 2020 first ever Kia Telluride. Small irk for me, kind of a big irk, is the running boards, because they don't really help me at all. I'm pretty capable of putting my foot up like that, and the weird part for me is getting out of the car. So I'm in the car, and I'm going to put my foot down, and only a tiny bit of my foot hits the running board, and I just kind of gets in the way. So there I am again, sitting down. Oh, it's straighten that logo out. So sitting down, and I've got to put my foot out further, and my shin, I guess the back of my shin hits the running board, and it just becomes really awkward to get out of the car. So yes, cool branding, has Telluride on it right there, but to me, it gets in the way, and it makes it a little awkward to get in the car because I put my right foot here, and you know, not too close, but kind of getting in. Sometimes I've hit my foot getting onto the running board, hitting the running board, getting into the car. So yep, if I bought this car, I would get rid of the running boards ASAP. Let's do the drive, the 2020 Telluride. So one engine, all trims, 3.8 V6, 291 horse, 262 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed transmission. You can tow up to 5,000 pounds, and 3-row crossovers. It's the rage. It's a new thing. So Volkswagen has the Atlas, Subaru has their Ascent, Hyundai has the Palisade, shares a platform with this, BMW has their new X7. So people want bigger vehicles, and the auto manufacturers are listening and giving them what they want. As far as the drive quality goes on the Telluride, it is very good. It's very smooth. It's very quiet. It's not the strongest one in its class, but the power is there if you need it. So no worries about getting on highways. No worries about getting yourself out of a potential collision situation. And it's a nice refined ride. And I keep saying it, and Kia keeps doing it. Their vehicles are very impressive. They're built very well, and all of the Kias that I've test driven over the past few years, I've been very happy with. And initially I was surprised with the quality of it because growing up, Kia didn't really have the best reputation in growing pains for any new manufacturer, but they've really, really gone full tilt as far as producing quality, affordable vehicles. And Kia's trademark is just to jam as much stuff into a vehicle as possible for a very realistic price. So my segue for that is standard features are Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and wireless charging and the adaptive cruise control and the blind spot monitoring and the forward collision warning and the rear cross traffic alert and the lane departure warning. The SX trim is the one to get. The SX Limited will give you a 7-seater option. If you have kids who want captain's chairs or whatever it is you want for the middle row to be 2 seats instead of 3, yeah, sure, go for that. But as far as your bells and whistles, the only things you're missing on what I'm driving versus the SX Limited, you're missing rear LED lights for the exterior, you're missing heated seats and cooled seats for the second row, you're missing a heads-up display, and you're missing a self-leveling rear suspension. That's pretty much it. And I think rain sensing wipers as well, but for the most part, for $5 less than 50 grand, the SX trim has so many features, and it's got the great build quality. Again, we've got the 7 drive modes. So let's take a quick look at that. And that's your comfort, your eco, your sport, and your smart. And you have your 3 different terrains, which are snow, mud, and sand. I don't think anyone's going to get stuck on the sand, but Kia's put it there in just a different way of getting the transmission to do what you want out of it. Like I said, there's plenty of power. It's very responsive. Again, not the strongest, but the gear shifts are very smooth. The car doesn't scream. You can knock off your automatic start-stop, which is great. It's just a nice, easy button to find as well. It's not buried in a bunch of controls where you've got to dig through menus. This massive screen here is absolutely wonderful, 10.25 inches, so easy to use. I'm not sure if you can see the lane camera from the camera vantage point now, but I showed it to you in the middle part of the video, and it's so good. It's so intuitive, and I hope that the rest of the family, the Hyundai as well as Genesis, picks up on this, because yes, it can clearly be done by Kia, and I'm kind of surprised that Kia did it first instead of having it done by Hyundai or Genesis. But you got to start somewhere, and this is definitely it. Seats are very comfortable. I think you can see this here. I'm going to adjust my seat forwards and backwards, and in kind of BMW fashion, it doesn't light up when you touch it, but it shows what you're doing and what's happening, whether it's forwards or backwards, or your lumbar support, or your seats are going up and down. Kia will show you that. And to me, that's a nice premium touch on a non-premium vehicle. That being said, Kia's really quickly climbing their own ranks as far as what's being offered at the price point. And, that was a big one for me. And it could be a small, tiny thing for other people, but just taking the time to put that extra little bit of detail in on a car that's, a truck around 50 grand. Really cool, really nice touch. The sound system by Harman Kardon sounds very nice. Speakers all the way around the vehicle. Little warning there, I'm not really sure why, but I think it was a collision warning, but there wasn't anybody really around me, but I guess it was close enough. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions on the 2020 Telluride, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to get you an answer much sooner than later. I appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to be updated as to when new videos are out, hit the subscription bell. And that's going to wrap it up. So again, thank you so much for watching. 2020 Kia Telluride 7 or 8 seater SUV, full size from Kia, full marks, very well done, very well executed. Great exterior, great interior, great technology. Well done, Kia. We'll see you next time.